Welcome back to part two. I wasn't planning on cutting this up into multiple parts, but I think it might be better just for focus and for people watching. So in this one, we're going to take one of these and we're going to model it in Maya. So I'm going to jump over to Maya. I've got the reference file up on my screen. Actually, we could take that file. Let's do that. Let's take the image file from here, and I'll show you in this tutorial. I'll just show you how to bring it into Maya. So we're going to make a new image or new folder. Sorry, new file. Save that out to my desktop, and I'm just going to call it test. Make it a JPEG. We'll save that really quick, and then I'm going to jump over into Maya. I'm going to go to view, and I'm going to go out of the perspective view, and I want to go into the front view and click on, and by doing that I hit the spacebar to do that. Go to view, image plane, import image, go to desktop and grab that test right here. And the reason I did it in this view is because if I did it in the perspective view, it would continue to face the camera, and I didn't want that. I can grab that over here, and we can hit W, well, let me select it, and I'll move that up so it's on my ground plane, and maybe I'll center it over so we've got the one I want to model right here in the center view, and I'll push it back just a little bit so it's out of my way. Okay, so now that we have that, I'm going to make a really quick model with that as a reference point. Another thing we could do is we could turn symmetry on, but right now I'm actually just going to build one half of this. So I've got my cube. I'm just going to expand this out, and this doesn't even have to be that detailed. It's just going to be a 3D reference in there, so I don't have to worry too much about the perspective, even though this is pretty simple. And I'm not going to make this so it's a model that I'd use for anything else, so I'm not really thinking about any kind of reducing polygons or having edge flow that's correct or anything like that. This is purely for reference, and that's, when you're doing that, you want to keep that in mind. If you were doing this for other purposes, you'd probably want to make it look a lot nicer, because it's gonna be rough. Actually, I'm gonna do a little bit better job than this though. I'm gonna take this piece here, we're gonna go into the front view. Oops. I accidentally hit the spacebar there. And I'm just going to cut along these edges, right click, we're going to grab these faces, and I'm deselecting these faces, but this one that you can't see is still selected. So I'm just going to hit extrude. I'm going to add a little bit of detail by doing extrusions like this. And you can see this, I'm going to edit those in a second. And then I'm going to do the same thing up here, deselect that. And to select this, I'm just dragging across, then holding control and deselecting there. And I'm going to make a little bit of a top. And then I want kind of that curve, so I'm going to do another extrusion and just grab these verts here and slide these over. And it's a little different than what my initial silhouette was, but that's okay. So I've got that top piece grabbed. We can go up a little bit there. Okay, so we've got that base pillar done. And I'm just going to grab some of these spots where I had left some space open, and I'm clicking one and then another and double clicking while holding shift. And I'm just going to extrude that in. And then this one, actually, I'm going to extrude this one out. Oops, double click. Extrude that out just a little bit. And for this last one, I'm going to do something a little weird. I'm going to duplicate this and then select this one face. This is on the duplicate. And I'm holding shift and clicking all of it. And then I deleted everything. I just wanted this one face just to pull off of here, just so I have the same sizing. And I'm going to take that piece down here, extrude a little smaller, drop it down, and then there we go, just slide it in. Maybe make it a little bit narrower. Start adding some interest to the pillars and such. Now I want that center piece, so I'm going to make a new block, and that's going to fill up here. I'm just expanding that out to that right size. And we see we have the circle on the block, so I'm actually going to do what's called a Boolean. So first I'm going to create what the center cutout area is going to look like. As actually that direction doesn't matter too much. And right now I can't see my object, so I'm just gonna go into wireframe mode. Make that a little bit wider. And now I could go over here, jump into here, maybe leave this one wireframe. I'm grabbing this so it just changes. If you watch it here, you'll see it only changes the full sphere, or this full circumference. And once I have that, see these edges here, those line up pretty nice. So I'm gonna go back into this view, and then I'm just gonna grab these four, make sure those are the same ones, they look good. And then I'm just gonna extrude this down to just beyond that point, and then I'm gonna grab this piece, pull it down a little further, make sure it lines up over here with my concept, and go to verts. I'm gonna grab these verts and pull them down to about there. Yeah. Now that I have these two objects, I'm gonna grab this object and then this one. And we're gonna go up to mesh tool. Nope, we're gonna go up to one of these. Go up to mesh, and we want the difference boolean. So we're gonna grab that, and we want to keep the edge on the settings here. I clicked on the cube just to pull up the settings. We don't want to have it like that because that'd leave hollow edges. I'm gonna hit apply, and hopefully I select the right ones, and I did. So I left the second one, the one I wanted to be the cutting piece, I left that highlighted, and basically I just cut that out. And it looks like you can change those on the fly. Like if I actually, oh, it's not gonna change on the fly, I guess. But so we have that piece. Once again, the geometry isn't correct. Like you don't have all the correct things you would need to properly, use this in a game or something like that. But that's not what this is for. This is just for reference. And now I want to bring off these side pieces here. Grab this one. I'm just gonna extrude that out. And then I need this bottom piece. So let's see, probably the best way, we'll just extrude it down to the base. Then go into verts, right click there. And then maybe I'll add just, I'm holding shift and it snaps. And I'm gonna add a few divisions with the multi-cut tool. And then I'll grab the center verts, hit B to turn on soft selection. Maybe a little bit more. That kind of selected that a little bit, so we'll not use soft selection, we'll just do it manually a little bit. I just want to get a little bit of a curve. Okay. And now we just need to duplicate, well first we'll merge this piece. You see we have the center point right there, that's why I lined that up in the first place. And now I'm just going to duplicate, and I could either scale it this way and then check my numbers over here, which I might just do that. I could have, oops, did that a little bit wrong, -1. I could have actually probably just spun it like this because it's all lined up too, but normally that wouldn't work out as well. So I've got that whole piece there, and I'm just gonna merge that. And now I have that done. I'll take this and we'll bring it into the scene in the next tutorial in part 3. And I'll see you next time. Comment if you like these, or if there's anything else you'd like to see, and subscribe also if you like them, and I'll see you in part 3. Thanks.